All right, this is a lesson on Summertime. It's the Doc Watson version. He did it in E minor, and he does a couple of unique things that I really like, and I'll show you, and then maybe compare that to some other ways you may hear it. First of all, like he does this walk thing. Summertime and the living is easy. Now, instead of doing that little group of chords, E minor, D, G, D, you could just simply stay in E minor the whole time. And that's what on page 1 of your tablature is talking about at the very top, where it says E minor, D, G, D, and it has a little arrow from E minor out to the D. You could replace that with just simply an E minor. But we're choosing to do this walk instead. The other thing's a little different. At the end, the last line of chords, let's see, where it starts on G, G, E minor, A minor, C, E minor, B, B. That's a little different. Some folks would stay in G longer, just a little baby, and then go straight to B, or they may throw an A minor but not the C, just a little baby. Instead of the C, go to straight to B. Seems like everybody does that a little different. I really like Doc's version, so that's why I'm teaching it. Just be aware that that last line can change out a little bit. It's kind of subjective on the chord pattern. Now, underneath the, I'll tell you what, let me give you a set of rhythm you can practice with on the guitar, then I'll teach on the mandolin as well. Then we'll jump into the lead in a few minutes. Ready, summertime. I guess I'm starting on the word time. Summertime, and the living is easy. Catfish are jumping, cotton is high. Your pappy's rich, and your mama's good looking. Hush, little baby, honey, don't you cry. All right, I'm gonna grab the mandolin. Alright, so the E minor, I'm going to call these chords out from the G string down, like G, D, A, E. For E minor, just go O, 2, 2, O. That's the chord I'm using there for E minor, just barring the D and the A string on the 2nd fret. Now, it doesn't sound bad if you just simply do the chords that are written in simple form, like E minor, D, G, D. The other way to do this is has this neat little walking sound. So in that case, I'm using the bar E minor, like we talked about it at first, 0, 2, 2, 0. Now the D I'm using is 2, 4, 0. I'm just not hitting the E string, so it's 2 on the G, 4 on the D, A on the open A. And then the G is 4, 5, 2. And again, just not hitting the E string at all. 4 on the G, 5 on the D, 2 on the A. That would be a G. Then walk back to D with the 2, 4, 0 version of D. And it sounds like this. So sometimes I'll do it that way. Sometimes I'll just use the regular old chords. Both sound good. A minor, I'm doing a 2, 2, 3, 0. A minor, C. B, I'm going to use a 4, 1, 2 with a mute on the E string. So that's like a chop, 3-finger chop version of B. kind of like a C slid back a fret, like a C flat, but it's a B. It's, you know, it's called B. 4, 1, 2. So here's the rhythm section. 1, 2, ready, go. One time, and the living is easy. Catfish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your pappy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, honey, don't you cry. All right, and then a couple things that I'm doing. I'm doing like a swingy version where I go down, down, just down strokes, like, and I have like a little vamp going on. I hit the chord on the E minor. I pretty much have to use like my ring and middle to mute the mandolin. On the D and the G, you sort of have to use your first finger as a mute to get that sound right there. On the G, it's all closed, so you just let off a little pressure. But I notice on the D, I am having to kind of clamp it down to get a mute. Whereas on the G, I'm just letting off pressure. E minor, I'm taking these fingers and popping the strings. Takes a little practice to hit the chord, let it ring, but then immediately mute it. And I'm doing 2 of those per chord, like summertime, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. The other thing, sometimes the count would be like 1, 2, and 1, 2, and whereas the kind of just sort of nicking on the way up with that and beat. That's an upstroke, be like down, down, up, down, down, up, like 1, 2, and summertime, 1, 2. Catfish are jumping, and the other way you could do this is just bass strum. Summertime. Let's see. And the living is easy. Catfish are jumping. All right, so that's just some ideas on the rhythm part. Let's look down at the lead. Notice above on the lead section it says IR. This is index ring finger. We've talked about this in your major keys like G. You know you're in G when you're playing on the D and the A string, using index ring style pentatonic scale like 025, 025. You play lots of tunes like that, and that key would be the key of G on those 2 strings. If you came down the A and the E string, it would be the key of D. Up on the G and the D string is the key of C. Well, this is the key of E minor. E minor is the relative minor of G, so it's going to share the same scale. Try to say this a couple different ways to help you illustrate the point. If I play a G scale, I'm also playing an E minor scale. What would make it sound more like an E minor scale, instead of going from do to do, from G to G, I could go, see, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. I could go from la to la, which would be from an E to an E on the G scale, like la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Playing from the E to the E. Sounds a little more minor-y that way, like an E minor. They are the same exact scales. They have the same key signature on a standard notation piece of sheet music. But on the Nashville number system table, you'll look where G is in the 1 column. That's what they call the key. But if you look out the 6 minor column, it should say E minor. And that is the relative minor. So this song starts in E minor, ends in E minor. So if I were trying to put this in Nashville numbers, I would find where E minor is in the 6th column. Well, that's the key of G. Also the key of E minor. So kind of saying the same thing over and over, just trying to figure out different ways to say it. So on the picking, we're going to be picking index ring style on the 2 middle strings predominantly, and that would be index ring scale there. And that's the way you're going to set up your scale. Now for the syncopation of the song, it's a little jazzy, a little swingy, and so there's a lot of like little rests in there, like little eighth rest or quarter rest, depends on where you're at in the song, that you don't normally run into. I think what would help with this, if we say the lyrics that this represents, like the first line is summertime and the living is easy. Try that first line again. Summertime and the living is easy. So in parentheses, that's the faster parts. It starts with the 2 and then go 5-2. That 5-2 is quick. And that's going from the 3rd string to the 2nd string. And then you have this whole long phrase where it goes, and the living is easy. And then you add the SY of easy, the SY at the end, that little 4 that's off by itself to the right. That's added later. The phrase inside the parentheses is all rapid fire. Like that. And then add the 4. But yeah, if you kind of say the lyrics as you play it, that might help with the syncopation of this tune. Summertime and the living is easy. Here's your second line. It simply says, catfish are jumping. So the ping is a little bit offset from the catfish are jumping. And the cotton is high. Now, those are all, rapid fire there. Now this next line, in my head I'm saying, your pappy's rich, your pappy's rich. So it's 2-0-5-2. Your pappy's rich. Then you have a group of fast notes. And your mama's good looking. We've actually played that exact phrase on the first line. The last line starts with the word hush, hush, little baby. So it's 0-4-0-2-5, pause. Don't you cry, hush, little baby. Don't you cry. Let me play this whole thing all the way through without talking. I'm going to sing the lyrics with it a couple times. Ready, go. Summertime and the living is easy. Catfish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your pappy's rich and your mama's good looking. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. The other thing I was wanting to point out, play along with that version of it I just gave you, and if you don't line up every single little thing that I'm doing, as long as we kind of starting each line together and ending each line close together, it should come out just fine when you play it with someone else. You may change a note here or there, or change the syncopation of a line a little bit. That's no big deal at all. There's no two people that's hardly going to play this song exactly the same, because it's left up to interpretation so much. Page 2 talks about the Nashville number system and the opportunity you might be forced into to play this in other keys. Like, I've played it in A minor, I've played it in D minor, I've played it in E minor, I've probably played it in some other minors. So we'd want to use our Nashville number system. The lowercase 6 at the beginning of page 2, that means the 6th minor. And so whatever key minor that you're going to be in, you find that on the Nashville number system under the 6th column. So 6 minor in the key of G, or the key of E minor, you can say it either way, is your E minor. Summertime. Then it has a 5 chord, which is your D in the key of G. Then the 1 chord. But the reason we're doing it in numbers is so we can put it in other keys and transpose it. And so compare that to the chords that are written in the key of G or E minor on the page 1. One thing to note on here, you'll see a capital 3, a 3 chord. That's the B. On the National Number System table, that's usually a B minor, like a 3 minor. But in this song, it needs to be a 3 major. So that's going to be slightly accidental. You won't see that on the National Number System table. You'll see the 3 minor. We'll just take the minor off and it makes it a 3. And so in any other key that you transpose it to, take that minor away and just make it a major 3. And so capital is major, lowercase is minor. And then underneath the National Number Systems, it talks about E minor or G, same thing, box. Let me pick through it on the box here. Now that 4 at the end of the first line, that's not on your G box. When you play a G box, you set up, you hit your 3rd string, 5th fret with your index finger. And then you set up, 5, 7, 9. The next string is just 5, 7. Backwards 7, 5, 9, 7, 5. And the string above is 9, 7. Well, that 4 isn't even on that scale. Or I should say, it is on the scale. It's not in that position, like that box position. We're just grabbing a note that's kind of pushed out of that position. But it is technically on the pentatonic scale. It's a B note. The pentatonic scales in the key of G would be G, A, B, D, E. So this is a B. And then we get in position for the D, E, G, A, B, D, E. So that's just a B that's out of position of the box. But I think that's the only one that does that. So when you transpose to other keys, you've got to be far enough up the neck to where that you can get that. And I don't think that should be a problem at all. Even if you're in G minor, that would just turn into a 0. And you're not going to go any lower than a 5th fret or a 1st fret box. So let me play through it here. 9, 5, 9. There's that 4. Let's see, try again. Catfish are jumping. Yeah, that's right. Try it again. 2nd line. Okay, that 4, that's out of position, and that's not even on the pentatonic scale. That's a note that's on the, the minor scale. The I forget the name of it. It's not. What's the name of that scale? It's not harmonic minor. It's just it's not melodic minor. It's not harmonic minor. I think it's just the natural minor scale. That's on the natural minor scale. It's not on the minor pentatonic scale. But it's the same fret. It's just on the D string here. Let me sing it one time through, and we'll go from there. Summertime, and the living is easy. Catfish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your pappy's rich, and your mama's good looking. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. All right. Now this is in the G box. I also want to kind of talk about it in a minor box. So because it's in a minor key, so that you don't have to always figure out, well, what's the relative minor of, and then set up your box that way. In other words, right now we're just setting up the G box, and we know that the G box is an E minor. But there's a way to set up an E minor box and not even have to worry about what the relative major is. So the way I teach to set up the major box, you you know, we've learned this 2 3 5 7 2 3 5 7 on the D and the A string is E F G A E F G A, and then you place your index finger on one of those notes depending on what key you want to be in, and then you set up your box. Like G would be the 3rd string 5th fret, E A B, or excuse me, E F G, and then you set up your pattern there to get a G box. Well, there's a way to do this with the minors. You want to start at the 5th fret on the G string, and so go 5, 7, 9, 10, and then go to the D string and go pick it up at 5, 7, 9, 10. And instead of 2, 3, 5, 7, it's 5, 7, 9, 10. And put your ring finger on that note instead of your index finger. So it'd be C. We're going from C to C now to set up our minor keys. C, D, E, half step to F, G, A, B, half step to C. So it's 5, 7, 9, 10. That's the half step from B to C or E to F, depending on what string you're on. Remember, it's on the G and the D strings. So since we're in the key of E minor, I'll find the E note, C, D, E. There it is right there. Now, I'm not setting up my first finger over here on this G note and getting the first of 3. I'm putting my ring finger on the E note, so it becomes the 2nd of 2. So if I'm on 9, it being the 2nd of 2, the first of 2 would have been 7. 7 and 9, and then this string below, get my index middle ring, all 3 on that one. Then on the string below that, get the index middle. So you're picking it up at the string that has 2 fingers, the ring middle, when you're setting up for a minor key. And by doing it this way, again, you don't have to know what the relative major is and make that math formula conversion, and then you can go to it right away. Like saying you play in C minor. Here's my C note with my ring finger, make the 2nd of 2. Yes, it is E flat, but I didn't have to first say, okay, what's C minor the relative minor of? It's the key of E flat. I have to set up for E flat, then I also have C minor. I just simply went straight to the C note with the ring finger, and I have it built in to where I am playing E flat, but I'm not thinking E flat, I'm thinking C minor. And so if another common key for this one might be A minor. So I'll find C, D, E, half step to F, G, A. A is on the D string 7th fret, 2nd of 2, then you're playing your scale. And that's a C scale as well. And we would have found it if we knew the A minor was the relative minor of the 6th minor of C, but we didn't have to do that conversion, we just went straight to the A. So I hope that makes sense. That's pretty much it for that one. Because we've learned how to transpose, and we've learned how to play it in the box. I prefer probably the knot box, the index ring style when I'm picking this one, but you should learn the box. That way you can play it in any key.